NLC is a body in law. Is a body in law put in place by this parliament who has the right to invest and they are going into PP arrangement.
Thank you. I think we need to allow you to conclude the submission so that we conclude the question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, the point I'm making is this. That pursuant to section 4 that my colleague referred to and empowers the parliament to make laws. Mr. Speaker, I submitted earlier, Mr. Speaker. They discover that they have made a mistake in the ruling, they can reverse themselves. The parliament under section 4, where we observe lacuna, we have the power to reverse, to repeal through amendment or repeal. Mr. Speaker, the bottom line I'm saying here, Nigeria, is that the funds in the covers of Foreign Investment Authority are funds that belong to my state, my local government, and my parliament in the state has power to do you appropriate for them, has never appropriated for this body. It's an illegal body, Mr. Speaker. I so submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question now, the bill be read second time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. Nay. The nays have it. Respected colleagues, the 10th order of the day is commencement of the general principle of the bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Kebbi State, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable A. Kauji. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 30 November 2021. I now invite Honorable Kauji to move that the bill be read the second time.
It looks somehow we should kill it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, I represent the good people of Bagudo and Suru Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kebbi State. I rise to move a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Kebbi State, and for related matters, HB 1751. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Bagaja, you are not in your proper regalia.
Mr. Speaker, my respected honorable colleague, my name is Honorable Bargaja, the Shitema of Gorgor, member presenting Isa Salmon Federal Concern from Sokoto State. I read to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable County. Mr. Speaker, I so second. Thank you.
The question now is that the bill be read second time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Kebbi State, and for related matters. Second reading.
bill referred to Committee on Health Institutions. Okay. The Speaker, the 12th order of the day is commencement of debate on general principle of Bill and Act. The 11th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of Bill and Act to provide the legal framework to establish Federal Medical Center, Akugo, Nkanu West, Enugu State, and for this matter, standing in the name of Nolin Naji, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 28th January 2022, and I invite Naji to move that the bill be read the second time.
Mr. Speaker. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, in Kano East, West Federal Constituency, I'm from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish Federal Medical Center, Abugo, Kano West, Enugu State, and for related matters, HB 1098 be read for second time. I so move.
Where is the money to fund that? And even remove market.
Yes, sir. I want to recognize.
I will talk. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I am Chinere Igwe, PhD. Mr. Speaker, I represent Port Harcourt 2 Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from River State, the treasure base of Nigeria, the source with which the money to fund this establishment will come to play. I therefore second it.
Thank you.
Respected colleagues, the question now is that the bill is content. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish Federal Medical Center, Akugo, Nkanu West, Enugu State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Health Institutions. Respected colleagues, the 12th order of the day is commencement of debate on general principle of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Ahiazu, Ezinhe, Tete, Mbase, Imo State, and for this participating in the name of Chinedu Emeka Martins. Honorable Martins is invited to move that the bill be read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Emeka Chinedu. I represent the good people of Ayazun Bisen, AC, the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Ayazun Bisen, Imo State, and for related matters, HB 1482, be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Deca Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okodele Christopher is the one question my name. I speak for Rumba North, Rumba South Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the bill raised by Honorable Chedu Emeka. So second.
Now is that the bill be read the second time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to do long title with the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery, Ahiazu, Ezinhitemba, Imo State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Health Institutions. The Speaker, the 13th order of the day is commencement debate on the general principle of bill for an act to regulate international studies for wards and children of Nigerian public officers, to strengthen indigenous institutions, provide efficient educational services for national development and for late matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Sergius Ogun, all members would call the bill that was read the first time on Tuesday, 27 May 2021. I invite Honorable Ogun to move that the bill be read second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues. I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast, and I'm from Edo State.
Honorable Fago, go back to your seat. Honorable Fago.
I rise to move that a bill for an act to regulate international studies for wards and children of Nigerian public officers, to strengthen indigenous institutions, provide efficient educational services for national development and for related matters, HB 448, be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Bagos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right honorable colleagues, I am Dachu Musa Bagos, representing the good, great people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency, from the peaceful state of Plateau. I rise to second for the second reading of the bill as moved by Honorable Sergius. I so move.
Sergius, lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I'm Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Eastern Northeast, Eastern Southeast.
Honorable Aviation.
And I'm from Edo State.
Chairman Aviation.
Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Aviation, come back to your seat.
Honorable colleagues, I have the honor to lead the debate. Mr. Speaker, I crave your indulgence to read from what I've written here. I have the honor to lead the debate in support of a bill for an act to regulate international studies for wards and children of Nigerian public officers, so as to strengthen indigenous institutions to provide efficient educational services for national development. Mr. Speaker, the structure of this bill is I have 11 clauses here. Clause 1 contains the objectives of the bill. Clause 2 provides for the upgrading of public schools in Nigeria. Clause for leave. Clause verification of the declaration made. Clause 8 states how the applicant is to be informed of the decision taken in respect of his application. Clause 9 enshrines the offences and penalties under this bill. Clause 10 encapsulates the interpretation section, while Clause 11 houses the citation section of the bill. Objectives of the bill. The objectives of this bill are, among other things, listed below. Strengthen our educational institutions to meet global standards. Boost the economy by reducing cash flight and foreign society by developing formidable educational institutions. Background of the bill. Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, this bill is proposed against the background of falling standards of our educational system and the need to bring the sector up to speed with global best standards. Unfortunately, as a result of the inability of government to provide quality education in its public education institutions, Nigerians have resorted to private schools and foreign schools for their education. the United Kingdom, United States, Ukraine, Ghana, Malaysia, Egypt, and South Africa, just to mention a few, have become choice destinations for Nigerians in search of quality education. Apart from that, a public officer who doesn't utilize public institutions will be indifferent about their well-being. There's also the worry that so much of our resources are being expended in foreign institutions. For instance, reports shows that Ghana alone gets up to 160 billion naira of Nigerian students' funds, while the United Kingdom gets about 80 billion naira from Nigerian students. More than 75,000 Nigerians are reported to be studying in Ghana, paying well over 1 billion USD annually for tuition fees and upkeep. Most of these foreign students are children, ward of public servants and political office holders who ostensibly cut away public funds to a private use. For private use. It is against this background that this bill is proposed to regulate these public officers or private citizens from sending their children / wards for studies abroad. It only seeks to ensure that a public officer who desires to send his or her child abroad does not divert public funds to so do. Thus, such public servant must first show that he or she has servants have implemented the policies and programs of government. Economic benefit. The bill, when enacted, will help to redirect the huge funds that flies out to other countries into the relevant sectors of our economy. It will bring about better facilities in our national life. Policy implementation. This bill will, when passed into law, will foster the fight against corruption, which is one of the cardinal policies of this current administration. Fundamental rights. This bill does not infringe on the rights to family and private life, as well as other fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution. The bill only seeks to regulate the practice of public servants sending their children / wards abroad for studies, while neglecting the development of our indigenous educational institutions. Present-day challenges. Mr. Speaker, I will skip that as we know no need to start talking about where ASU is right now. In concluding this, Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, permit me to close with the remark of Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, that I quote, each year nearly 15 million people die in Africa from causes that have their roots in poverty. To heal that scar requires sound, selfless, and moral political leadership. We need inspirational and visionary leadership that would perform effectively and deliver for the people. End of quote. So, Mr. Speaker, my highly esteemed colleagues, I humbly call upon the honorable colleagues to rise up and provide the needed sound, selfless, and moral political leadership. I want to give thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your cooperation in supporting the bills that are geared towards national development and institution building. I do solicit for your collective support in passing this bill into law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Anybody wants to speak against? Minority Leader, Deputy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I agree with the spirit of the bill, which is essentially calling on public officers to be responsive and responsible. And my own challenge essentially is within the realm that makes it look like all public officers that have their children overseas are corrupt, and they are doing so through the accessing public funds. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, you know we send a number of our officers in other jurisdictions as public servants. We have ambassadors, we have people who are in the diplomatic corps, who ordinarily, in the course of their duty, will be occasioned to have their children's school overseas. Two is that, is it likely that children's schooling overseas is the reason why our educational institutions are not working effectively? We must make a distinction, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, between hiring competent people who should man offices, who should be responsible, who are acting based on knowledge, as against legislation of conduct prior to, even if you're a clerk, prior to getting into public office, you have to declare your assets. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, it is for you, for the assets you have declared, the revenue profile of those assets, it will answer the question whether you are fit and proper in sending your children overseas. So whereas, in essence, I understand the direction my colleague is going, I am a bit challenged if we will not be modeling up and this, that we may have diagnosed wrongly. Because in the past, we had our children go overseas, they come back. We also have people from other countries come to our own jurisdictions to study. And it will be good for purposes of reference, because nothing is new in this world. Which other jurisdiction has an enabling law that bans its citizens, the public officers, from going to study, including those of them that are born overseas? So my own take is that it will be good to have a knowledge-based response to this. It can as well go to second reading for a proper scrutiny, so that at the end of the day, we will a position, including agencies of government, EFCC, ICPC, and the rest, they are not able to detect corrupt public officers. I don't think we want to establish inadvertently a correlation between where you school vis-a-vis the level of corruption, so that we don't give a baptism inadvertently to what is not due. Thank you very much.
It is with utmost trust and faith in the survival and growth of Nigeria that I stand to oppose this bill. Because as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Speaker, this bill offends the fundamental human rights of Nigerians, which guarantee freedom of movement. The Constitution does not specify that if you are which movement you must make, but it gives you absolute right to move freely. So by this bill, we offended the Constitution. It therefore renders it not unveiled or ultra-virus. Mr. Speaker, going furthermore, as my colleague, my dear brother, my friend has posited, that the bill will ensure that our educational system is uplifted. Mr. Speaker, I want to totally disagree with that, because
my children to school abroad. Have I in any way done any wrong? Mr. Speaker, it is neither here nor there. That because I'm a public officer, I shouldn't send my children to go to school abroad, as my colleague has posited. Mr. Speaker, we are chasing shadow. Rather, Mr. Speaker, as a nation, we should do a reassessment, a reorientation to determine what are those things that are affecting our public infrastructure in this country. It's not only education, the health sector is done, the roads are not there, the security is gone. So, Mr. Speaker, it's the fact that somebody sends his children overseas is killing the educational system, as my brother wants us to believe. Mr. Speaker, I don't agree with that. Mr. Speaker, thirdly, he has said that people or the bill will try to determine if you have the means as a public officer to send your children overseas. Mr. Speaker, my colleague had just forgotten that by the Code of Conduct Act, the only business you're supposed to do is farming, and that is constitutionally enshrined. So if we agree to that bill, it means that we are happy, my brothers.
Lekki, I think Osai want to save the bill. I say you would like to save the bill. No. After Lekki.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I think my colleague that just spoken has said it all. Honorable Ogun is our friend, is our brother. The best is just to step down this bill. As he has said, it's against the human rights. It's against my own rights. Most of us, before coming here, have our children schooling abroad. So it's not maybe because we are public officers, you not see as children schooling abroad. Some have the means, apart from being in government. So if you say, because I'm now a member of House of Rep, I should go and withdraw my children from where they're schooling. And our institution here, as he has said, is not in order. Everybody wants the best. Actually, most of us here, I can say, we went to higher institution in this country when the schools were good. So I want us to look more into how we can improve the federal institutions to help the as they are struggling for the institution to be better. I think this house is doing a lot in that area. So it's just for us to beg the executives.
It was me and the deputy speaker, sir. Thank you, my good friend Sergeant Ogun. You know we respect you in this floor. Your opinions count a lot. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, yeah, I think out of patriotism probably is trying to generate this bill, but this bill is against the Constitution.
ABN is at it again. It's time for the real visible and political leadership project evidence in Nigeria. Get ready for the most detailed online TV and radio program tagged Operation Show Your Project. Operation Show Your Project. Showing every Thursday 11 a.m. on ABN TV and radio. Operation Show Your Project is the authentic platform for all elected and appointed leaders in politics at all levels to showcase their accomplishments within the period in office. For project documentation and production, contact us today on 0816-634-7017. On 0816-634-7017. Operation Show Your Project comes up every Thursday at 11 a.m. on ABN TV and radio. Be part of the testimony. ABN is at it again. It's time for the real visible and political leadership project evidence in Nigeria. Get ready for the most detailed online TV and radio program tagged Operation Show Your Project. Operation Show Your Project. Showing every Thursday 11 a.m. on ABN TV and radio. Operation Show Your Project is the authentic platform for all elected and appointed leaders in politics at all levels to showcase their accomplishments within the period in office. For project documentation and production, contact us today on 0816-634-7017. On 0816-634-7017. Operation Show Your Project comes up every Thursday at 11 a.m. on ABN TV and radio. Be part of the testimony.
Have 4 children overseas. Then the NAS president said lecturers are sending their children overseas. The NUC president, chairman or executive secretary, the last time the child was graduating abroad. These are the people determining the curriculum of the Nigerian universities. Ministers and all their children are schooling abroad, and we say it's okay. 1% says it's okay, 99% says it's not okay. A little should come down to fix our institutions. That's basically what I'm saying. If we all can afford, by showing these documents, that we can send our children out, by all means do that. So why have we refused to put this document down for it to be vetted? If you have the means to send them, why is the fear there? The means is that we are not saying if anybody gets scholarship, it shouldn't go.
Thank you.
So Mr. Speaker, no apologies to anybody who the question. If he passes, all well and good. If he fails, all well and good. The Nigerians are out there watching all of this.
Please. Our language in the floor matters, and we should not be blackmailed, and there shouldn't be blackmail. No. It's the last word you use. The last word. Please. We have debated.
Honorable Sergius.
We can't open debate after that reply. That's by procedure. I'm just trying to guide so that we can have a peaceful house and then behave like honorable members. Those in favor that the bill be seconded say aye. Against say nay. The nays have it. Please. The 14th order of the day is a motion on the consideration of outstanding bills from the preceding assembly standing in order of Abubakar Hassan Flatter. Or Flatter is invited with the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Flatter. I represent Federal Critical Assembly Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, reconstruction professions in Nigeria establishment 2020.
Honorable Sergius, listen to your colleagues in silence.
897 Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission Establishment Bill 2021
House Bill 1510.
Engineer Ibrahim. Engineer Ibrahim.
To Order 12, Rule 16 of the Standing
Honorable
of the House of Representatives.
Ibrahim.
Bills passed by the President Assembly and forwarded to Senate for concurrence, for which no concurrence was made, or negative, or passed by the Senate and forwarded to the House of Representatives, for which no concurrence was made, or negative, or which were passed by the National Assembly and be reconsidered in the committee of the House without being commenced de novo. Also note that the aforementioned bills were passed by the President Assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the tenure of the last Assembly. Aware that the bills were regazetted as House Bills number 16, number 43, number 897, and number 1510 respectively, and read the first time. House resolved to commit the bills to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. As well moved, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, I raised to second the motion. Heavily moved by my senior colleague. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Respected colleagues, the question now, that those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That is it. The 15th order of the day is a motion on need to address the plight of displaced innocent citizens of Giwa and Binigwari, Dogom area of Kaduna State.
Honorable Sergius, you are distracting the sitting. Honorable Sergius.
Honorable Buhari is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished honorable colleagues, Shehu Balarbe is my name. I represent Brunei. Titled Need to Address the Flight Displaced Innocent Citizen of Giwa, Birnugwari Federal Constituency in Kaduna State. Have taken a lawful dimension, as it is now a daily affair of Binugwari, Giwa Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. Informed that the despicable activities of bandits have led the displacement of most of the cognizant of the need to support over 60 communities displaced in Binungwa local government area. In Randegi district comprises of Kakangi, Arandegi, over 2,650 people displaced. And in Coelho district comprises of Coelho, Dogondawa, Kazake district comprises of
Kwana Bataro, Ruheya, Doka, Madugu, Kanawa, Anguwan Baushe, Anguwan Aiba, Hayin Gazari, Karofi, Anguwan Wakili, Makera, Anguwan Zangon Tama, Anguwan Murtala, Anguwan Doka Liman, Anguwan Lelli Ward, where over 12,552 people displaced. Worried that the innocent citizens displaced in Birnungari constituency are presently camping in dilapidated public tents, and the affected persons in Birnungari district are camping in Magajingari 1 and Magajingari 2. Those affected in Randegi district are camping in Randegi, Kakangi, Katakaki, and those affected in Kwelo district are camping in Kwelo and health epidemic. Commend the effort of Kaduna State government under the lead of His Excellency the Governor Malu Nasru Ahmed Rufai in tackling security in the state and provision of relief material to the displaced persons in Giwa Birnungari Federal Constituency. Worried that despite the current effort of Kaduna State government, the affected persons are immensely in urgent need of attention and support in all ramifications. Resolved to urge the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, Social Development, and National Emergency Management Agency and the National Commission for Refugees, Immigrants, and Internal Displaced Persons to preparedness to ensure compliance. Thank you. I so move, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. Amendment.
Amendment, Mr.
Amendment. I thought we'll have the seconder first before the amendment. Yes, sir.
Now representing Mr. Speaker, I'm from the source, the cradle of the world. I rise to second the motion as heavily moved by my brother Balalabi. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Kabir Idris, member representing Kura, Madobi, Garumal, and Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, my amendment here is even though he has mentioned national emergency settled in a particular place, also can have access to them and provide security support for them as well. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Party.
I'm from Bauchi State. My amendment is that this important motion, the areas that they have similar
Honorably, did you hear the reason why you are called? You are to second the amendment moved by Honorable Kabiru. I thought you were raising a hand for that. Thank you. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Another amendment. I will take parley before I come to the de facto comrade. The most senior comrade.
Right Honorable Speaker, to include other areas that they have same issue
mention and plead. Allow this one to pass. Those many other areas are not known to us. Please.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I said the most senior comrade, you are pointing your hand at us. I don't know whether I'm okay, I don't know.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Kano State. My name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman. The amendment is not really that wide. I am wondering why they moved for almost 1 year. So, and I will be happy if they will be. No, my friend, the village. Okay, I'm not talking of individuals now. I'm talking of a particular area. Shika, he knows the place, and I'm sure he knows the consequences of skipping this. You have to immediately make amend. Otherwise, the consequences will be very.
I have the live streaming is not covering that. It's only the amendment. There's only the amendment or another amendment. Another amendment was calling the amendment.
Well, thank you, comrade, for the amendment you proposed and for helping.
Those in favor of the motion against say nay. That's it. Respected colleagues, the 16th order of the day is a motion on need to construct a bridge from Ishasi in Lagos State in the Igbasel community in Ogun State, standing in the name of Honorable Jimbo Olusola. Motion set down by the leader of the House. Respected colleagues, the 17th order of the day is a motion on urgent need to strengthen the operation of the Nigerian National Park Service, standing in the name of Honorable Johnson Oguma. Honorable Oguma is invited to move the motion.
I'm Honorable Johnson Oguma, represent Etako Federal Constituency from Edo State. This afternoon, Chad Basin Yakari, Cross River, Oga, provide iconic ecosystems and other criminals have taken over the forest. Turn the reserves to their herders, worried that the criminals are better need to ensure that the national parks are secured in order to encourage patronage and improve revenue generation. Resolves to urge the federal government
ABN is at it again. It's time for the real visible and political leadership project evidence in Nigeria. Get ready for the most detailed online TV and radio program tagged Operation Show Your Project. Operation Show Your Project. Showing every Thursday 11 a.m. on ABN TV and radio. Operation Show Your Project is the authentic platform for all elected and appointed leaders in politics.
Any institution operating an automated teller machine, ATM, shall file an updated list of such ATMs, including the details, location of the addresses, with the Banking and Payment System Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria for compliance and monitoring. Worried that some of the POS operators fraudulently charge exorbitant amount of money from their customers' bank accounts, while some retain vital information from customers' ATM in the course of making the financial transaction. The House therefore resolved urge the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to, in the public interest, introduce stringent regulations and guidelines, including the sanction on the point of sale POS business operation in Nigeria. And two, mandate the Committee on Banking and Currency to organize stakeholders meeting for the purpose of tackling the menace of the operation of the point of sale system POS in Nigeria. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency, our Right Honorable Speaker, my noble colleagues in Parliament. I am Honorable Dr. Ajibola Muraina. I represent Ibarapa Central, Ibarapa North Federal Constituency. I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, my noble colleagues, I rise to second the motion ably moved by my friend, noble colleague, Honorable Jimoh Ibrahim Olaji. I so second.
Respected colleagues, the 19th order of the day is a motion on need to rescue the federal polytechnic Oko from erosion disaster, standing in the name of Honorable Okudili Ezenwako. Honorable Ezenwako is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okudili Christopher Ezenwako is my name. I speak for Orumba North, Orumba South Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, my motion is need to rescue the Federal Polytechnic Oko from erosion disaster. There is known that Anambra State ranks top among the states in Nigeria affected by erosion disaster, with the epic center running through Oko, Nanka, and agro communities. There are recall that the motion titled Need to Rescue Nanka, Oko, Obo, and Isuo communities of Anambra State from erosion disaster was on December 5th, 2019, moved with the consequential House resolution duly met. You are aware that so far no visible work has been done at the affected areas, and the erosion has further ravaged the communities, displacing families from their ancestral homes, as well as extended to the premises of Federal Polytechnic Oko in Orumba North local government area of Anambra State. Worried that the erosion disaster has cut off the asphalt road network within the school premises and threatens to destroy faculty buildings in the school. It is thought that if immediate action is not taken to arrest the further degradation of the topography of the Federal Polytechnic Oko and its environs, the school could be buried in a matter of weeks. We have resolved to call on the federal government to take immediate action in tackling the erosion disaster within the Federal Polytechnic, Oko, and other neighboring communities in Orumba North local government area of Anambra State. All the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to urgently send relief materials to the affected communities to alleviate the people's sufferings. Mandate the Committee on the Ecological Fund, Emergency and the Disaster Preparedness, the tertiary education and services to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
He or she.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues. I remain Honorable Barrister Vincent Ekene Ofumelo. I represent the marginalized people of Oyi and IMM Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Anambra State.
Is that the name in the Constitution?
Oyi.
Did you hear that?
The late Shuba Okadibo, the then Senate President of the Federal Republic
so
of Nigeria.
If I told you are marginalized, how could you have become? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. With you, we will no longer.
And among the recent appointments, I know that Mr. Kadibo is in the NNPC.
Mr. Speaker, I am the main part of my constituency, Mr. Speaker.
It's part of the constituency?
Yes, I am the. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to second this powerful motion. I am from Anambra State. I'm aware of the erosion control. I second the motion as moved by my colleague, Okudili Ezewankwo. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Is there any facilitating motion? So I will now put the question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Let's call it the 28th order of the day is a motion on need to review the privatization of Osogbo steel rolling mill standing in Oyo. Oyo is party to the motion.
My esteemed leaders and distinguished honorable colleagues, Olubukola Oyo is my name. I speak for all the people of Erepodu, Olorunda, Urolu, Osogbo Federal Constituency. I am from Osun State, the state of the virtuous. I rise to raise the motion on the need to review the privatization of Osogbo steel rolling mill. I rise to raise this motion as an advocate of provision of employment for the teeming masses of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House notes that the Osogbo steel rolling mills, the Nigerian machine tools, and other national assets were sold to private investors by the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo through the Bureau of Public Enterprise, the BPE, chaired by the former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Regrets that since its privatization, the Osogbo steel rolling mill has remained moribund, while the Nigerian machine tools situated at Osogbo is performing below its optimal capacity. Concerned that without functional steel companies in Nigeria, the dream of manufacturing vehicles in the country and other machine equipment might be a mirage. Also concerned that the neglect of the aforementioned companies, which provided jobs for over 20,000 Nigerians, is impacting negatively on the people and the economy of the nation as a whole. Cognizant that many jobless youths will find something to do if the sales of these national assets are reviewed towards optimal utilization. Resolves to mandate the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization to investigate the process of the privatization of the Osogbo steel rolling mill and the Nigerian machine tools with a view to working out modalities to revert the privatization and restore them to full working capacity. So I move, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Maybe a quick one so that we we do not meddle our own motions. If you are asking for investigation, you don't now draw conclusion. Allow the investigative aspect to fly. Thereafter, the committee can come out with any other recommendation that we find, and that is much better. Thank you. So, second, yes. No, it has been modified. The motion has been modified. You remove the aspect of the view just to investigate. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
That's why I got up. Mr. Speaker, I'm Linda Chibekazo. Thank you for recognizing me. I actually do have an amendment, and then I'll second. Second, okay. I rise to second the motion as raised by my colleague, subject to amendment. Yeah, so my...
But I think because of serious time, we just...
Chairman Aviation, approach the acting chief whip before seeing the speaker. Chairman Aviation, take note.
Yeah, amendment.
Okay, the amendment. Okay. My amendment reads thus.
Chairman Aviation, approach the acting chief whip. Please approach the acting chief whip before seeing the speaker. Thank you.
Mandate the Committee on Privatization and Commercialization to investigate the process of the privatization of the Oshobo Steel rolling mill and the Nigerian machine tools. That's what the amendment is.
Your name is going to be given to ethic by violating the rules.
I'm on the floor. I'm on the floor. Yeah. I think we should delete with a view to working out, because that means you've already determined what the outcome will be. So if there's going to be an investigation, that's okay, but not for you to decide.
No, investigation. Yes. Thank you. Yes, sir. Seconder? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Abdulgani Johnson. I rise from Lagos State. I represent the good people of Oshodi Solo, Federal Constituency 2 from Lagos State. I rise to second the motion, amendment ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Johnson. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That is it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Tobi Okechukwu. I represent an area of River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, good enough, this sits well within the committee's responsibility. I will also, by extension, the Oshobo is one of the rolling mills we had. We also had Katsina, we had other ones, and then
we had Jos.
And Jos too. So, Mr. Speaker, I know that I don't know whether it's the process of award or whatever that is responsible, but there is something uncanny here regarding our rolling mills, and we cannot take off regarding industrialization if they are not fit for purpose. I will suggest that, and I will also move that we amend that the committee should do a status inquiry on all the rolling mills, including Ajokuta, Just, and the rest of them. Status inquiry on them and report back to the House within 4 weeks. And so, move.
Amendment again. Let me take the seconder for this one. Honorable Jega. I thought status inquiry would have covered the entirety of whatever amendment will come of the entire process. Except, I don't know. Yes, Ajeda?
Honorable colleague, I rise to second the amendment ably moved by my honorable colleague. I also can.
in favor of the amendment say aye. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's a amendment. Solomon, engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My very distinguished colleagues, Engineer Solomon Maren is my name, FNSC, and I represent the people of Mangu Bokos. I'm from Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, I thought it would only be wise if we also include the Committee on Steel to join hands with the Committee on Commercialization and Privatization, since it is a steel matter. And I so submit, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconder, Honorable Blakey.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Abej, this is my name. I represent the good people of Yabafara constituency. I'm from Kogi State. That's the home of the steel. So I rise to second the amendment moved by my colleagues that Committee on Steel, chaired by Alims, be added. Thank you.
Thank you. Another person from Kogi. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Respected colleagues, the 21st order of the day is a motion on urgent need to provide firefighting equipment in dialogues of Banjua, the federal constituency of Bauchi State. Sending no Honorable Masum Manu Soro. Honorable Soro is invited to move the.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I am Mansour Manu Soro. I represent the good people of Daras Ganjua Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Bauchi State. I rise this afternoon to read the motion on the urgent need to provide firefighting equipment in Daras Ganjua Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. The House notes that the primary responsibility of any government is the protection of lives and properties and the promotion of general welfare of its citizens. The House is worried about the frequent fire outbreaks in different parts of Daras Ganjua Federal Constituency of Bauchi State, with the most devastating one occurring in Darazu Market, destroying means of livelihood worth tens of millions of naira. The House is informed that fire outbreaks were earlier recorded in Sabu village, Kapin Galadima, Buruku, among other villages in the constituency, destroying shelter and farm produce. The House is aware that Darazu Ganjua Federal Constituency geographically connects Borno and Yobe State to the neighboring states in the east, stretching to about 180 kilometers along the Bauchi-Maiduguri Federal Highway. The House is concerned about the rising cases of fire outbreaks in Darazu Ganjua Federal Constituency and auto crashes that turned to fire incidences along the Bauchi-Maiduguri Highway. The House is cognizant of the total absence of firefighting equipment along the Bauchi-Maiduguri Highway and the entire Darazu Ganjua Federal Constituency. The House resolves as follows. 1. To urge the Federal Fire Service to deploy a firefighting truck to Darazu town to protect residents and commuters flying the Bauchi-Maiduguri Federal Highway in order to avert further loss of lives and properties. 2. Also urge the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, the Northeast Development Commission, and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide relief materials to the affected victims. Further urge the small and medium development enterprises, SMEDAN, to consider the victims of Darazu Market fire outbreak in the agency's 2022 activities and programs. Mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure implementation. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Linda Chubek-Biazu. I rise to second the motion as moved by Honorable Mansur Soro. I so second.
Is it committee?
Yeah, amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm Eja Hababa, Chief of Dambo, Goza Federal Conference. Mr. Speaker, my amendment is on the second prayer of the motion. Sorry, the third prayer of the motion. That is written here, further this more than medium is further urge. So the word urge should be there.
Okay.
Yes.
Seconder. It has failed. It will be done administratively. It will be done administratively. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Those of you who the motion say aye, against say nay. That's it. Respectfully, the 22nd order of the day is consideration of a report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a brief for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Horticulture, Okigwe, Imo State, and Fulton Matters. Honorable members will recall that the posts were laid on Tuesday, 8 February 2022. Honorable Monid Babada Agudi will move for his consideration.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues. My name is Munir Babatan Agundi. I represent Bumbota Federal Constituency of Kano State. I rise to move for the consideration of our report, that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions on a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Federal College of Horticulture of Kigwe, Imo State, and for other related matters, HB 1456, and approve the recommendations therein. I so move.
Honorable Leki.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Honorable Leki, this is my name. I represent the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency and by extension, Kano State. I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Dangudi is also my constituent from Kano. I so second.
Motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. The next order of the day, which is second, is the constitutional report on the Committee on Health Institutions on a brief and act to repeal the Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy Establishment Act 2017 and enact a Federal University of Health Science and Technology Enugu to make comprehensive provisions for management and administration of the university and for matters. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 2nd February 2022. I now invite Honorable Fulata to move that for the consideration of the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Fulata. I represent Bruneiwa Creek Asamaguri Federal Constituency. So Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Jigawa State. So Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to repeal the Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy Establishment Act 2017 and enact the Federal University of Health Technology, Health Sciences and Technology, Enugu, to make comprehensive provision for the management and administration of the university and for related matters. HB 1604. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. Marine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Engineer Solomon Maren is my name, and I represent the people of Mangu Bokos from Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second that the bill do be considered at the Committee of the Whole as moved. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Move for the House to resolve the Committee of the Whole consider reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Sanfulata. I represent Bruneiwa Creek Asamaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House to resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider reports. I so move.
Yes, my brother. Jimo, I think the mic, all those who control, they don't want you to speak. Each time you have to speak,
thank you.
It will be extraordinary.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Jima Abdurrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland, Federal Constituency, Lagos State. I stand to second the motion that's moved. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. House is ever resolved to come to hall to consider reports.
Honorable TJ, go back to your seat. Honorable TJ.
Respected colleagues, the first report to be considered yes, sir. The first report to consider is that of the Committee on Agriculture and Institutions on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal College of Horticulture, Okibo Imo and for related matters. I now invite on Monid Agu to give the synopsis of the report.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, Honorable colleagues. This bill has to do with agricultural education and extension services in the country, and the college, under the colleges of agricultural colleges and institutions, and